What's up, everybody? Welcome to another race analysis presented by Newtype Cycling. We are back with some more Speed Week. We are at Spartanburg, South Carolina for the, Bryce, what is this, 2-3 race?
2-3. Yeah.
All right, real quick, we've got Bryce's beta. His FTP is 355, watts per kg is 3.9. Bryce is coming in at a weight of 200. Race age is 30. Catch your boy outside in socks and sandals. And yeah, you just heard, we got Bryce in the studio today, aka the spare bedroom. We ain't got no studio here. What you talking about? All right, jump into the race stats. The race was 46 minutes at a distance of 17.5. Average speed is 22.5. We'll talk about why that's so low here in a little bit. Normalized 300. Average power 241. Those stats will be reflected in just a second on why they're so low and skewed. We're here getting started. This is the second race. No, this is not the second race of Speed Week. This is like is this the fourth or fifth?
This is the fifth.
We missed the middle part of Speed Week due to how they had the schedule set up. Like, they had you going like halfway across South Carolina, Georgia to like get from one race to another in like one day. So we decided not to make those. But let's jump into the action. You got to get a good start on these 2-3 races. You got to be on the front, and Bryce is hitting it hard, clipping in quick, pumping out some sprints. This homeboy right here can't clip in, number 13. Got to turn that number upside down, boy. All right, we're going to have this full lap come through. And at the very beginning, we were talking to our buddy Chris Ames, a local rider here from Hopfly, and he was calling it. He was saying, like, first lap, like, dude, up to speed, I'm telling you right now, dude, there's going to be a crash. Bryce, what were you thinking?
I was thinking about the insane amount of crosswind and headwind that we were getting coming into this back half. I know it's kind of hard to see with the track map at the top right. Hopefully that will come in at some point. But when you turned out of turn 2, you were smacked in the face with a solid gust of wind. And it would almost like take your wheel out.
Yeah, if you were like a junior rider and you weigh like a 190 or like 90 pounds or like 80 pounds, yeah, you could get lifted up like you're having a little parachute if you're rocking like disc wheels, super deep dish wheels. But now we're coming up the home stretch. There's a big tailwind up this small little kicker. And you can't really tell from the footage, but it's a little bitty kicker that is super fun. But let's keep an eye on directly in front of us. Look ahead in the race. Look in the outside corner. And it's calamity. Oh, my God!
Yeah, it was absolute. That's an absolute nightmare.
It was mayhem.
Yeah, you took a good line through there.
Dude, I drifted into you. So now we'll check the rear cam footage of this. One crash definitely causes another. We're just going too fast, and boom, you got more guys just getting taken out, and it's really it sucks. I hope those guys are right. We had to. Now we're all chasing, but we're not going to show the footage. But we had to sit neutral for 10 minutes. And Bryce, tell us about your neutral race experience.
It was my first neutral race experience. We were neutral for like 20 minutes. It was
12 or 13 minutes.
Yeah. So we were neutral for a long time, and we were bumping. There was a lot of jockeying for position.
I'd never raced so hard, bro. Going 10 miles an hour.
There was some tactics involved, but we're jumping ahead.
22 minutes in, and Bryce, you're pretty good. I have been chilling out in the back. We've got, so let's not forget. Let's get the call out to the other bros. We've got Nick on our team. He's in this race, as well as Jake. Nick is just coming off a full week of like being sick, flu type symptoms, and Jake is back there playing it smart, riding through the field. But Bryce, you're on the front. You're catching a perfect little flyer, catching wheels, son.
Yeah, it was weird. Because usually most of these races, especially if you watched the amateur finals or Twilight race, like I was dying. And moving up was really hard. So it was really nice to be able to like see the front in these races. So I wanted to take full advantage of it. And if I could see the front and get a little separation and like make the group work, maybe have a break happen, like that's the card that I've been playing in all of my crits recently. and a race of attrition is right up my alley. So, yeah, that's the card I'm playing and I'm going for today. And you'll see that throughout most of my racing today.
Yeah, that was a perfect counter on that chase coming up to the start-finish line, and you put a big gap in them, and they weren't ready for that. You ended up stitching it up, and now you're on the front. So just to guys put in perspective, like we see the clock on the right-hand side, it's saying 24 minutes. Let's subtract 10 minutes from that. We've only really been racing for 14 minutes here, okay? So you've got to take into account everybody's fresh. This is a 2-3 race. Guys are ready. They're looking for points. They want to perform. It's speed week. There's a lot of payout, a lot of clout, and Bryce is up here doing work early, stringing it out. Bryce, you're on the front for a really long time. You're putting in really hard watts, but as we can see from the rear cam, like they're still there. You're not really getting the separation that you want to.
Yeah, and that's going to, and I don't, looking back at it, it just seems like I'm working way too hard. Like I said, my goal is to race for attrition, but for some reason I think I'm made of steel. That's certainly not the case today. But I don't know. I really don't know what was going through my head right here. I really wanted a break.
Yeah.
And it looked like I was trying to force it at this point. And I didn't have the horsepower to do all of it by myself. And it's super early, like you said. So anything that I do, if I don't have any snap or if I don't create any separation, like all I'm doing is just dragging around the field. And I'm just burning myself out. Like, so now I have to recover. I'm in the front, I'm exposed. And yeah, I'm just at a point now where like, I'm just waiting for the counter, and maybe the best, defense is on offense. So I do it again and I get my heart rate right back up there. And like I said, I'm just going for a break. So I'm just looking for a break mate, but these riders are right on top of me because it's competitive and everyone's fresh.
Yeah. And you're a heavier rider. And with that uphill, like you put out 1200 watts right there, but this guy behind you, Piedmont guy, he's a little taller, lankier guy, but he's super light, and yeah, he's snapped and he's right on your wheel. That's something I think we're going to work on these next couple weeks at Ore Road and some other small races to when Bryce goes, we're going to try and break somebody's leg off and get this thing going. But you do a good job right here doing your couple laps of hard work. I mean, you're pretty pegged. I think 192 is like red line for you. 195 is like you're like dying on the hill. So you do a good job of slotting in. I'm finally moving up a little bit to just sneak in a couple positions. We're 26 minutes into this thing, and it's gonna be a street fight because this course is just hot dog shaped, and there's not much technicality to it after we got used to taking the first turn. So skip ahead right here. We're 29 minutes in. And watch me, I'm going to do a little sneaky move right here. Right when you crest the start-finish line, it starts to open up on the right. The barriers start moving right. And watch me, I just kind of do a couple little pedal strokes, and then I just disappear into the abyss. I gain 10 spots right here and move up. And Bryce, I know you mentioned you're like, what the heck? You just Houdini'd. And here I go. We switched over to my camera, and we'll give a perspective on what my watts look like moving up right here, these 10 spots. Just coasting all the way through this corner.
Yeah, I mean, that was the perfect spot to, I guess, you were comfortable in the turn. A whole bunch of people weren't because of that crash. And as a result, you were able to put yourself, in a winning position. And as a result, there's your cake and you get to eat it too. You get to go on the break.
Oh my gosh, I was chomping the bit for this. And look at the gap we have in the rear. There is one guy up the road, and we are starting a little flyer to bring them back. And we're going to try and get this thing going. And I was loving this. I was perfect timing. I got to sit in, take my time. And yeah, when I wanted to, move up and start playing bikes. So group has caught us in the rear cam, and we're still going pretty hard. I'm doing 600 watts. That's a lot of power. 31 miles up this hill, up this small little kicker right here. And I'm just biding my time, playing it smart. I know who to watch out for. We've raced with all these guys before a couple times now throughout the year. On the left right here, we have EF on 2 and Piedmont moving up through the field to throw in some activity. We're going to shuffle the deck a little bit. And my whole goal is just to play smart, is not eat too much wind and just have a good time. So they start rolling off the front a little bit, and I'm comfortable like kind of like letting them go, and just I'm looking over my shoulder a lot right here, and boom, perfect timing. Guys see red lights and they feel like they need to chase that. Guess what? I'm just gonna slot back in on my buddy Luke's wheel and take it easy.
And that's like the perfect example of like the difference between you being patient and me not being patient. Like I was forcing it, chasing those down. Like as soon as I saw that go, I would have gone and chased that down. You had the patience and the wherewithal to kind of like file in, let someone else do the work. And then, you know, as a result, like you got to, you know, definitely did a little bit of work, but you got to keep your position. And now you're, you know, top 5 getting to rest while everyone else is chasing back up to you.
Yeah, and it's super hard to be patient because you never know like what's going to happen, but it's just one of those things like you just keep racing, keep learning from our mistakes and going from there. But at this point, I'm like full tilt, like ready to play bikes and make moves. But at the same time, it's like, all right, I'm at 190. If I can back it down to like 180, 175 and recover a little bit while following wheels, it's gonna be perfect for me. But we're rolling through right here. This is really my only section that I'm gonna be active in the race right here. I was really hoping for a lot more movement and to be able to last a little bit longer. Unfortunately, we're gonna have some catastrophic stuff that's gonna happen to me. I'm gonna have a mechanical here in a little bit, but I wanted to show this middle section of the race because Bryce is a little bit further back, recovering as he should, and I'm just following moves. My good buddy Chris Ames gets out of the saddle, and I want to be a part of this, and so I was like so mad when he sat back down. I like almost yelled at him, and I just wasted 900 watts for nothing. But I'm back towards the front. We race with Chris Ames every freaking week, every Tuesday. And so when he goes, like, I'm ready to send it. And he is a great person to be in a breakaway with because he motivates you. He'll talk to you. He will pull longer than you just so you can make the break happen. And yeah, I was so bummed that he was set back down, but you know, Spidey sense is going off. You feel like some other counters are going to start going down, but you just got to be patient right here.
Yeah, I mean, this is that race where, you know, if you're not doing 25, like between 28 to 30 miles an hour, there's going to be, you're either going to get swarmed, which is kind of like what's happening here, like we're bunching up pretty badly, or you're going to, their counterattacks are going to start flying. Like luckily it was just a bunch up because I think everyone's tired as a result of, you know, that big rest like you were talking about.
Yeah.
This is insane right here.
Yeah, so I'm on it. I'm like, perfect. He's going to go again, and boom, here we go. I snap my chain, guys. If you want a perfect example of what to do when you get a mechanical in a crit race, this is it. Put your hand up, go straight, let everyone come around you, be predictable. And yeah, guys, I broke my chain, and I pull into the pits. We're gonna take a break right here and let them. We're gonna let the officials hear me complain to the officials.
The only question is,
The guy was psyched that I broke my chain. So the reason I want to let this play out is I wanted the officials to kind of like talk. And here's me heckling them.
Come on, man, come on. Do me a favor. I'll buy you beer, a Coke.
You want to let me take a tire, man?
it's not mine. No.
Turn your back, turn your back.
All right, so what I'm doing there is if you guys notice off to the left, there's a row of neutral bikes, a bunch of specialized allays over there. Every race during Speed Week, riders were allowed to use those neutral bikes to get back in the race. If you had a mechanical like I did, like where you couldn't fix it other than a flat. So I don't know why, for some reason for Spartanburg, like the rules had changed, but we saw guys the rest of Speed Week get to use those neutral bikes. So as you can imagine, I'm pretty irate right now, like that my race is done after being super active. And you can see the officials right now, they're kind of like chatting it up and talking about it. But end of rant, USAC, get your stuff together and figure it out and make the rules consistent for every single day, and I won't be mad at you. Okay, Bryce, I am done.
Everyone close your eyes. Don't watch this.
Oh, my God. Yeah, Bryce, you almost took yourself out on Jake's wheel. Gotta love that. But I'm done. We've kind of rewound a little bit, and you'll see me kind of drop back through the field right here. I'm up on the front. My chain breaks right now, and you can see the field kind of scatter a little bit. And here's my chain right there on the ground.
Ta-da.
Little snake in the grass for you. We're 34 minutes in, Bryce, and as soon as I'm out, there I go. You just decide to lose your mind.
Yeah, I was like, well, Jared's out, so I don't have to hang out for the lead out.
I don't have to listen to what he says, so I'm doing whatever I want.
Yeah, I can't get chirped at anymore, so I'm just going to send it full tilt. And perfectly, the EF on 2 kids, and I forgot the guy's name, but the rider from Squadra.
Right here in the red.
In the red, 2 positions up. Those are super fast guys, and they've been acting like they wanted to ride the break, so I wanted to ride the break with them. And as you can see, they're just chasing everything down, and I wanted to play with them. So it looks like the Squadra guy's with us, EF guy's there with us. The guy in the front's a super strong guy, so we're letting it eat. And I want to this is what I want to do for the day. I biff the turn.
Yeah, it's okay. Luckily, it's fast enough right here. You can just make them up like a couple pedal strokes and you're back with them. But yeah, so the EF kid directly in front of you is Gray Barnett, super strong kid. We believe his role today is just to cover moves for Enzo. This is all speculation. We're not really sure, but that's what it kind of seemed whenever we replayed the footage, that he was just there to cover moves and kind of keep it together. If Enzo wasn't with it, he was bringing it back. But yeah, this is definitely when it starts getting super fast and super strung out. The attacks start going. We're getting deeper into this crit.
Yeah, and the speed's a little bit off. So going out of turn 2. So just kind of keep that in mind. But for the most part, when he was on the front, he was kind of bringing it down. So like I said, I was trying to keep the pace up, force some attrition, maybe create a bit of separation. So I just got on the front. Like I said, I didn't have Jared screaming at me. He only screamed at me when I went past start finish on the front. So I was just letting it eat. Like I said, I had a bit of race brain today.
You're keeping it fast. You were definitely keeping it fast. It's strung out. Check the rear cam. Everyone's single file behind you. But with the class of riders that are here at Speed Week and the level of competition, I think we've talked about it before. The 2-3 field right now in the Southeast is stacked. The guys who are coming out for these races are smart. They're fit. They got a lot of power, a lot of snap, and they come out in numbers too. They're coming out with teammates, and so our normal or road or local crit tactics won't really work, and you punch it again to try and snap off Gray, and he, looking at me in the rear cam, just gets a little sprint in and he's right back on your wheel. But you're rolling coal, even though your speed sensor is a little messed up. You're keeping it super fast.
Yeah, like I said, but I am hurting. 193, I am pinging off the rev limiter. I am really hurting here, but this is what I wanted to do for the day. I figured that was the spot to put in the work. I wanted someone else to pull through or counter or just keep it fast, and I would have joined them, but all I was doing was just burning myself out.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's one for the books. Lesson learned here. And I think we just got to change up our strategy a little bit on these larger fields like this, when we know just some lighter weight guys are going to be in it, and just be a little bit more patient. But right here, we're getting down to it. It's getting congested. There's a little bit of shuffling. Here comes Jake right here playing it super smart the entire race, staying sheltered. He's being a wheel sucker the entire race. He's not doing anything that he doesn't need to, and he's having a really good race so far. But you find yourself in perfect position again, just being super lucky where moves on the left go and you just catch wheels. So I can't blame you for this right here on just being super lucky and catching a wheel,
Yeah, like once again, it was like, oh, this was another good opportunity for me to move up. Like I was just thinking, like I constantly needed to be at the front, and this was early in the season. Once again, so like at least if I remember right, this was somewhat early in the season, and before this we had done like two or three races, and that was the Hincappy series. There's 1,200 watts. Like I said, just wanted to be a part of these things.
Yeah.
We done the Hincappy series where we were getting dogged. And then in the amateur finals, I was getting dogged. So finally, I was in a field where I felt like I could participate and get engaged and be a force to be reckoned with.
Oh my God! What did he do? Oh, Gray just biffed that turn and luckily saved it. He didn't eat the curb. But check him in the rear cam. He's going to counter. He's going to chase down this rider in the front because that's his job today, that we think. And dude, you thought he was in the gutter, and he just comes back around you, just snaps one off. See ya.
Yeah, I wish I went with and there I go. I wish I went with it then, but now it's too far away. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the entire group back up there, and I've been on the front for the past 3-ish laps.
Yeah. And
I'm back on the front.
Yeah, you're actually helping Enzo in Stars and Stripes on your wheel. You're actually helping him make sure the race doesn't get away. If you want to put a pink kit on, we'll get you one.
Yeah, I'm a little bit older for that. But yeah, I was just doing too much work, and I should have never done work for the group here. There's other teams to do that work, and I should have been way more strategic about how I should have set up the race in order for me to win. And I don't think I did that this time. But like I said, this is a little bit early in the year. I had some race brain, and I just really was excited to mix it up. And I think that was in the race, I think if I remember correctly, I was just thinking about just being an agitator, being a force to causing havoc in the race, and that's what I wanted to do that day. But as a result, it really cost me so much.
Yeah, there was a huge counter on the left by that. What's the red team's name?
Super Squadron.
So Super Squadron just did a huge counter coming out of turn 2, and you got a little bit of congestion with some riders on the front who kind of just dropped anchor, and you definitely suffered from that. You went from third wheel all the way to the back of the group. You can see Nick on the back right here, who's just hanging on, coming off a week of being sick, and you're back here now. You're surfing wheels. It's more surgy back here. You're having to drag brakes more, but they're going fast. The race is fast now. We're going 30 miles back up this hill, and you kind of just hang out here for the rest of the race. It was a result of, like you just said, just doing too much work, and at this point, elbows out. You see people are fighting for positions. They're not letting anything go now. And when you lost that front is when your race was done. And unfortunately, I think it's 4 to go, 3 to go. And yeah, dude, no one's giving you a wheel.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where great move countering, me, who was doing a bunch of work and would have chased you back if I had another match to spend. Great recognition of that. I just wish I, at this time, kind of saved my matches for that move that's going on right now, because that was the one to cash in on. If he had a brake mate, I think that would have stayed away. The group was certainly tired. I mean, he's out there by himself.
Yeah, guys. Well, we're going to cut the video right here. Appreciate you guys watching. We will post the full video of Bryce here at Spartanburg for the 2-3, so you can see the finish. You can see some of the middle section of the race. We'll even put in that 10-minute section of the neutral. If you want to watch him, if you want to watch him implement the neutral tactics. So, appreciate you guys watching. We will be rolling out the other Speed Week videos that we've participated in. We also have a bunch of other road races and crits that I've been trying to catch up on. So appreciate y'all watching. Hit the like and subscribe button. Send this to your grandma so she can watch. Catch you on the next one.